Welcome to the Shield Football Podcast, the Shield Football Podcast, the podcast for the people, man. Welcome back for another episode right before the draft, DC.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, sir.
Starting out, how you doing today, and how are you feeling about getting closer to this draft day?
It's just anxious. The closer we get, the more anxious I get.
Yeah.
I was just reading something today. This is the first time that we've been this close to the draft and there hadn't been any trades made within the first round. I think the record was 5 days before, and to this day, there's still nothing going on. So it makes me wonder if it's going to be some fireworks come Thursday night, or if it's just going to be boring.
Yeah. From everything I'm hearing from the people in the know, they're saying it's a lot of standing pat. Like everybody's going to use their own draft picks. Not a lot of trades going on. But they can surprise, especially at the back end of the first round. That's where the fireworks and we can get those crap moments and everything like that. Speaking of the draft, DC he came up with a good point. We haven't announced. We will be streaming the draft live Thursday, starting at 7:00. We will have our stream going. Come through. Kick it with us. Send us some comments. Yeah. You like a pick, you hate a pick. We'll be reacting live to all the picks going down. I'm excited about it. Yeah. Again, I've been saying this all year. Like, the draft is Christmas to me. Like, when you get older, you don't get Christmas presents necessarily, but I'm sure for college football fans, signing day is the same thing for them. Yep. And but for the NFL, the draft is it. The draft is my day. So I can't wait to get some drinks in me and then enjoy the new present that we all get.
That's right.
Today, we're doing our final mock draft. So the idea of the mock draft is really to what we think there's going to happen, mixed in with a little bit of what we like. Like, we think that Cam. Let's just go ahead. Cam Ward's going number one overall, but we may want to throw in the possibility of a Abdul Carter or something like that. But yeah, but we can go ahead and kick it off. Get right into this thing. No trades, but we do want to keep it in our conversation.
Yes.
It might be a possibility of some of these trades. So starting out first and foremost, NFL IQ has a pretty good draft target metric that they have for like the first 3 or 4 possibles. I kind of want to go off of that and see if we like that or we agree. Starting out, Tennessee Titans on the clock. DC, take it away.
It looked like it's going to be Cam Ward. I'm thinking after all this time going back and forth with it, not the guy I really wanted from the jump, but of course, like you always say, you need a quarterback. So the closer we get, the more okay I'm becoming around to it. Just because of the Abdul Carter news with the stress reaction. So, yeah, it's going to look like it's going to be Cam Moore first overall, and I'll be okay with that. But he's still going to be on a prove-it basis.
Right.
We've seen so much bad quarterbacking over the last few years. We ain't taking nothing for granted. We're not going to assume anything. So he's still going to be on a prove-it moment for me.
So the problem I have now is, again, I'm deep into this draft thing. Where would you rank him among last year's quarterbacks?
He probably be about 5th. I'm guessing
So
somewhere around 5th.
The ones in mind, Penix or Cam Ward?
See, to me, those two guys are neck and neck. Cause I loved Penix, man. I love Penix.
Yeah, I
man.
remember that.
Yeah, so those guys would be neck and neck. But I'd probably take Penix. I would probably take Penix.
So we didn't love Bo Nix.
No, we didn't. No,
And
we didn't.
he showed us some stuff. Where would you rank Cam Ward and Bo Nix?
Not knowing what I know about Nix, I probably would put Ward ahead of Bo Nix.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
sure.
And it's interesting because now we're going to talk about the other quarterbacks later, but they nowhere close to these cats. And again, we'll get into that later. Yeah. All right, so Cam Ward is the pick for the Tennessee Titans. Writing this down as we go.
And we speak of Bo Nix. He's a prime example of falling in the perfect spot.
Right.
He went to the perfect situation. Any quarterback wasn't going to fit what Sean Payton wants to do. And it looked like Sean Payton got his guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I saw a really good, interesting stat on Bo Nix, which was saying on screens, he was like the best screen thrower in the league. And, Sean Payton loves screens.
That's him.
But further down the field, he was kind of shaky. So for Bo Nix to keep continually getting better, he's going to have to get that downfield passing game a lot better. But for what Sean Payton does, he does that perfectly. So it's, like you said, perfect spot.
And I think that's a position that Shadur Sanders should fall in. Something like that. Fall to the right OC. Like you say, short range, he's awesome.
Yeah.
They say he threw over 900 passes. 55% of them was 5 yards or closer to the line of scrimmage.
Damn.
Over half. So when you say, well, he broke the record for completion percentage, I mean, well, yeah. You're going to do it.
It's pitch and catch.
Yes.
It's backyard football then.
Yeah, so he's probably going to need an offensive coordinator that can work with him, too. He's going to be operating from short range to long range.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to the Cleveland Browns. Their suggestions are Cam Ward, if he's there, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, and Shadur Sanders. I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're going to have Shadur sliding. But for the Browns, it really comes down to Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. Who do you think we should go with? And, who do you think?
Okay. Probably going to be Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter. Yeah. I mean, you already have one dominant end. I mean, it would be awesome to have those bookends like that, but, you still going to need some help on the offensive side. For me, it would have been either him or Shadur, actually, because you got a head coach coming into another season. You got a good head coach, and he's coming to a season without a quarterback again. So, man, I don't know how his season's going to turn out. He may be wanting out by the time this year is over, for sure.
I'm sure he's been wanting out. So coming in before the pod, Daniel Jeremiah, he had a clip that not really viral, but he put out. He said Travis Hunter's the pick, and they're going to play him at receiver, with cornerback being the secondary position. So it makes perfect sense. It's high. If you want to do it like that, it's kind of high but Travis Hunter's a freak, and he'll help them out definitely on their offense.
Yeah, and the secondary, that has to be a secondary position. Yeah. You can't have him running both ways like college, because he goes down, you lose wide receiver 1 and QB 1. I mean, cornerback 1.
Yeah.
You can't have that. You just can't. That's just too big of a risk to do.
Going to pick 3, New York Giants on the clock. We can go a couple ways. So Cam Ward, Travis Hunter's off the board. I'm sure that would be their 1 and 2, but it don't look like they're going to get there. Abdul Carter. What about Mason Graham also? So Abdul Carter, Shadur, and Mason Graham. This is kind of an easy pick for them.
Yeah. Graham does sound good, but they do got a nice defensive tackle. I forgot his name. He got hurt late in the season, but he was killing it the first half of the season. He just got hurt. So that would be nice, but I don't think they go that way. Abdul, you decent on the defense, but you got Thibodeau.
Right.
And you still got what's the name, came over from Carolina. I can't think of his name.
Burns.
Yeah, Brian Burns on the team. So, man, you got to go. Oof. Oh no, man.
Yeah.
They in a pickle, but they went out and got Russ and Jameis. So I don't see them taking the quarterback. I really think they're gonna try to freak this thing and do something wild.
Yeah.
I really do, man.
I'm with you. I believe that what they're gonna do is stack up on that defensive line and go after Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and Jaden Daniels. So that's pretty much the best thing they can do, because even if they got a quarterback, all them teams is better.
Yeah,
they're better right now. So I think they really want Travis Hunter to pair up with Malik Neighbors. But we'll go Abdul Carter. And then the question is, how do they play all these cats?
Yeah.
Because Abdul Carter has some linebacker flexibility. And the thing I've kind of heard, I don't know if they love Thibodeau.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they he's a good player, but I don't know if they're in love with what he brings to the table. Maybe his personality might be just kind of
well, with that logic, they say Carter's a generational talent, but if that's the case, I can trade back see if the Jets want to come up. And at 7, I can still get a hell of an edge and still pick up some draft capital if you want to go that route. That's probably what I would do. Instead of taking Carter, I was like, hey, Jets, you want this spot? I'll switch with you, and you got to give me something else.
Right.
Yeah. And then I can still get a hell of an edge at 7.
Make it good for us, but
Yeah.
Going down to pick number 4 with the Patriots. This one's kind of interesting. There's a lot of Will Campbell love. For some reason, people are putting Ashton Genty to him now. There's Armand Mimble, who's the other tackle. He's a right tackle, though. Also, Mason Graham. We can throw his name in there. Out of those 4 names, which one do you think most likely ends up there?
Man. Vrabel's going to want a defensive guy, man. I wouldn't be surprised that Mason Graham turns out to be the pick. But for me, this is one of the most intriguing positions in the whole draft.
Right.
Because you're also hearing the stories of that they may, if Carter falls, the Eagles are willing to trade A.J. Brown.
I heard that.
to that spot for them to move up there to get Carter, just so he can get back with Vrabel. And that would definitely be game over. That would be game over. So we hope that don't happen. But here, I'm probably going to go with Mason Graham, man. Mason Graham. I think he'd do that. I think he would.
So the crazy part about Will Campbell and Mason Graham are they're really good talents. Their arms are just so short.
Yes.
Right? So it's kind of a tricky thing. Yeah. But the Patriots also got Milton Williams. So Milton Williams and Mason Graham on your defensive line.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
We're talking about hellified pass rush. Really good on your run defense. Mason Graham is. So yeah, we'll go Mason Graham over Will Campbell right now. And there you go. And then move on to Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, they have needs everywhere, really.
Yes.
Other than number 1 receiver and maybe quarterback, they can use pretty much everything. The names that we're going to throw into this one, Jalen Walker. We're going to throw Will Campbell back on the board. Maybe they want to get a tackle. And then we're going to add in Ashton Genty also, which there's a lot of rumors of him going anywhere between 5, 6, or 10. And unfortunately for them, everybody mocked Mason Graham to them, and he's off the board already. What are you thinking? What are you leaning towards as a pick for Jacksonville?
I'm thinking Jalen Walker. Yeah, I'm thinking that's where they end up to go. If the board looks like that, which is this is a team that's in another very intriguing spot,
right?
Because you just said Shadour's still on the board,
Yeah.
Once again, somebody may want to come up and try that.
Yeah.
But we're not going that route, so I'm going to say probably Jalen Walker here.
I'm going to agree. Jalen Walker is a polarizing prospect to me. I don't think he's the best edge rusher. I really don't think he's a really good inside linebacker. But for some reason, I know the reason. His athletic qualities overtake all of that. And if they put him at one position, edge rusher, everybody thinks he's going to flourish. Jacksonville has who? They have Walker.
They just picked him in the first round a couple of years ago.
They got Walker and Jalen Walker and what's it? Trayvon Walker.
I think that's him.
Yeah. So
and they also got Josh Allen. The other Josh Allen.
The other Josh Allen. Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. We're gonna turn Jacksonville into Saxonville again, and that's the last time they were good is when they had that hellified pass rush. So Jalen Walker goes number 5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. How do you like that fit for him?
I think it works out. I think it works for sure.
All right, and then going back to the Las Vegas Raiders with the pick 6. This one's interesting because maybe you get tackle help. Will Campbell's still on the board. He's the number 1 tackle. I did see that a lot of people were saying he would have been like the 5th tackle taken last year, though.
Yes.
There were so many other tackles. Yes. I believe Amarius Mims around that time, and I think he went in the 18, 20 area. The mid round. So Will Campbell, he's the best we got. We can go Will Campbell, or we can go Ashton Genty, or Armand Membu.
I just can't see him letting Genty get by him. I just can't see it happening.
Me either.
At all. They're gonna be fighting people off for that trade spot.
I'm 100% with you, and it just feels like a Pete Carroll pick. I just feel like Pete Carroll would be like, hey, he's going to be our tone setter. Let's get Ashton Genty in these streets, and he is going to be a star in Las Vegas. And really, to be honest, he probably is the 3rd or 4th best player overall in the draft. Yes. He's just a running back. That's the only problem. Yes. I don't love taking running backs this high, but for Vegas, it's a perfect fit.
No doubt.
Perfect fit. Their run game would be crazy. Him and Brock Bowers on the that's fantasy gold right there.
It is.
That's crazy.
Which is another reason I think LA should be trying to move on from Mike Myers, the other tight end they drafted like in the 2nd round just a couple of years ago. Try to get something for him.
Yeah.
He's not gonna get in front of Brock, so you might as well try to move him now on draft night. See what you can get out of it.
And then, all right, so pick 7. The Jets are on the clock. The Jets are kind of puzzling. I can't really nail down what they're gonna do. They've got names like Armand Membu, who they can get. Will Campbell's still there. I think there's a good possibility that they would take the tackle. Tyler Warren, he's been rumored to them, and it says Shador on here, but I just can't see it. Yeah. Let's stick to the tackles: Will Campbell, Armand Membu, Tyler Warren, and let's throw a defensive end in there. How about Mikael Williams? Out of those names, which one do you think most likely is the pick?
I think the head coach, I don't think he's going to be real flashy with it. I think he'd probably go with Membu. Just to go ahead and make sure the offensive line is squared away. I think he's going to be a guy that wants to build from the
Do you like Membu more than Campbell? Because I think he goes Campbell.
You think he go Campbell?
Yeah, I think they go Campbell.
But yeah, either one is fine, but I think they go offensive line here.
Yeah,
I think they go with the offensive line.
I think they will do that too.
Yeah.
Even on draft night, if the person's not the same, like most likely Membu would be the pick on draft night. It's just in this scenario, I think they have to go. I think they'll go Will Campbell. So that's what we'll do is go Will Campbell, for the Jets, pick 7. And yeah, I don't think they go quarterback at all.
No.
I think they'll stick with Fields, and maybe they do something in second round. Maybe. Fields and Milroe kind of pairing. All right, moving on to Carolina. This is an interesting one too, because the names they put up for Carolina, the rumor is they want Jalen Walker. Too bad, y'all should have lost more games. Also, Mikael Williams is a option. Mason Graham is not there. Ted McMillan, the receiver, this is the first time we're going to call his name. Will Johnson, the corner, put him on the other side of the horn. And Jade Barron. And we'll throw in Shamar Stewart also. His name is floating around there. So the names we're going to go with are Mikael Williams, Ted McMillan, Will Johnson, throw in Jade Barron, cornerback from Texas, and then Shamar Stewart. Which one do you think would be the pick? I'm down to 2 names. I'm down to Mikael and Ted.
Okay. Ted seems like something they would do just to destroy other teams' dreams.
Yes.
The
hater pick.
Yes,
that is the hater pick.
That would be the hater pick. But I wouldn't be surprised if they went Will Johnson at this spot, another cornerback. That's just a Carolina thing to do.
Yeah.
But that Ted seems like right on point for them.
I'm with you. I think Ted, either Ted or Mikael Williams. To me, Mikael Williams isn't worth the 8th overall pick, but we've seen teams do crazier things, right?
This team.
Well, right. We've seen this team do crazier things. So we'll go with Ted McMillan for the Carolina Panthers at pick 8. And I have a really good feeling about these last couple picks that we've done, especially like the positions.
Yep.
I could see Carolina definitely taking Ted. I could see the Jets taking a tackle, either Mimbu or Campbell. In this scenario, Campbell's there, and then Vegas taking Genty. So it's adding up to me. And now we go to the New Orleans Saints, the hapless New Orleans Saints, who they're in a quarterback need.
Yes.
The rumor is they're not taking a quarterback. That's the rumor. I've listened to all the big names, the McShays, the Jeremiahs, the Dane Bruglers. They're saying they're not in love with any of these quarterbacks.
Okay.
So we're going to take Shador off the board for them as of right now. What we're going to do is put Will Johnson back up there, Mikael Williams, and Jade Barron, Shamar Stewart. And for fun, put in Tyler Warren. So out of those names, which one do you think will be the pick or best fit?
I'm going to go with one of the cornerbacks, probably Barron, because I hope this is what the Saints do. Don't just go ahead and tank. Go and get your future cornerback and just tank the rest of this year out. Like we talked about last week. There's no reason to even try. You should be trying to move players on draft night. Get out of that. Just lose. Just go ahead and tank, man. You ain't got no reason to be there. Take one of those cornerbacks and just keep on moving. Let Spencer Rattler run it out for the rest of the whole year. You need to.
Ooh, that's a nasty proposition. Keep your head up, Chuck. Right now, for me, it's out of Will Johnson and Mikael Williams. People are saying they love Mikael Williams for what he could do. I'm gonna go with you on this Will Johnson pick though. Oh, would you say
Barron?
Barron, actually, yeah. Barron is probably the better fit because Johnson's more of a zone corner. Let's go
replace Lattimore.
Let's go Jade Barron for them. Yeah, and Jade Barron's more of the Swiss Army knife. He can play nickel. He can play outside. He can play some safety for you too, but he gets interceptions. I like that as a fit. Now, the Chicago Bears are the 10th pick. This one is interesting also because the names that they have for the Bears are Tyler Warren, Mikael Williams, Omarion Hampton, Mimbu, and Mike Green. I can't see them picking Hampton.
No, not there.
I can see them picking Mikael Williams or Tyler Warren.
Yep, I can see it. Tyler Warren. With Ben Johnson coming over, I can see it happening. Yeah, he can get his own tight end.
Yeah. So that'll be his Sam Laporta for this offense. They got Cole Kmet, but this dude get him off the field real quick.
Yes.
And he's a good outlet for Caleb Williams. So let's go Tyler Warren. We'll definitely go Tyler Warren with the 10th pick in the draft for the Chicago Bears. 49ers are pick 11, and they have some options. They have Mimbu. They're in need of tackle help. We know one of the best tackles of all time is close to the end for them. Will Johnson, throw his name up there. They play a lot of zone with Rob Saleh's scheme. Mikael Williams, we're going to keep him up there as an edge rusher. Jahdae Barron's gone, so we're throwing Mike Green from Marshall as a possible. So Mimbu, Johnson, Mikael Williams, Mike Green.
I think it's going to be Mimbu. I think they want to shore up the offensive line. If you're thinking about investing in your quarterback, then you definitely want to make sure he's protected.
I like that as a pick. He's got some inside out flexibility also. Mimbu, good. That's a really good solid pick for them. I also would have thought of Will Johnson just because of he's the perfect fit.
Right.
Like if there's any team in the league that I would want Will Johnson to go to, it'll be the 49ers. But in this scenario, I like the Mimbu pick also.
But I think they got another nice young corner over there. Is it Lenore, the 49ers? I think they got another guy there. They just paid somebody, I think.
Yeah. All right, pick 12. My pick for my Dallas Cowboys. Throw out some names. Of course, they want Ted McMillan. He's gone. Of course, they want Ashton Jeanty. He's long gone. Mikael Williams, Will Johnson, Matthew Golden, and Kenneth Grant. And all signs and hints are saying that if they can and if they must, Matthew Golden is the pick. From the interviews Matthew Golden's doing to the leaks that are coming out of the organization, Matthew Golden most likely is the pick. The great Brian Broaddus, who's longtime scout, and he's like he's intertwined with that building. Like he's got sources everywhere. The Cowboys did a Cowboys draft show, did a mock draft about a week ago, and he's like, Matthew Golden's most likely to pick. They would pick Ted, but nobody thinks Ted McMillan is going to be there. Just like in this scenario, he's gone at 8. So I'm gonna go with Matthew Golden, and as a pick, I love that.
Absolutely.
The only problem I have with that is, are you going to use him right?
Yes.
Because he's not that dissimilar to Brandon Cooks,
Right.
who y'all couldn't get the ball, right? So I'm like, I love the player. He ran a 4.29. I don't think he's a 4.29 athlete. I just think he had a really good start, and I think he's good. I comp him to Stephon Diggs, right? How are they going to get this cat the ball if they couldn't get Brandon Cooks the ball? It's the only worry I have in this whole thing. I think he's worth it. He's a young cat. He seems like he has a good head on his shoulders, and he tweets a lot. So he's right up the Cowboys. Him and Micah Parsons tweeting back and forth together is going to be crazy. So with the 12th overall pick, Matthew Golden is the pick. And I, for one, love it. It's got to be one of these two receivers to me.
Yeah. Like you say, you got to be able to scheme him. He can definitely take the top off and they open up
Yeah.
everything for Ferguson and CD. Anything they want to do underneath, he can definitely get the top off for you. So it should work out. If the OC can call the right play, this should be a beautiful thing in Dallas with that combo.
Are you worried that last year he was the number 2 receiver to Isaiah Bond, and Isaiah Bond fell off? His fall off is the only reason we're talking about Matthew Golden this way. Are you worried? I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah. I'm not really, because I know Isaiah Bond was a hell of a recruit. I mean, he started out, I think,
Yes.
at Alabama or
Alabama.
Georgia, one of them, and then he
Alabama.
ended up moving to Texas.
Right.
So that lets me know he's a hell of a recruit. And Golden, he was a late bloomer. You know, he started out at U of H.
Yeah.
He was behind Tank Dell.
Yep.
Then the next year he got hurt. Then he ended up transferring to Texas.
Yeah.
And then somebody else got hurt. Then he just bloomed at the end of the year. But what I like about him when he was at Texas, he showed up in the big games.
Right.
He showed up when it was time to play. And that's the best test you can have from a receiver. When it's time to play, he's there in the big game.
Yeah, the game I go back to is the Georgia game, where he made every big play, and then also the Arizona State game, where they would have lost that game if he didn't make that 4th and 13 touchdown with the hell of a route. That's to me, that's the route that, all right, I'm drafting you first round, because he had that cornerback spent around. But I love the pick. I can't wait to have him in Dallas. I think, again, the way it's going, I think a lot of these have a high possibility of happening.
Oh, yeah.
13, the Miami Dolphins, who are really mad that Mimbu is off the board. Their names are, we'll go Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle from Texas. We'll go Malachi Starks, safety. We'll go Josh Simmons, tackle from Ohio State. And then let's throw Mikael Williams' name back up there.
Okay.
I think he'll go around this area. Do you want to? We know they got to need that tackle.
I was about to say,
We know they got to need that
got
tackle.
to.
So it's got to be Kelvin Banks or Josh Simmons at this point.
Yes, it's going to be probably Josh Simmons, man. Because you know what quarterback you got.
Yes.
You got to protect that.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, because that guy, he can't get another one of them hits. It can't happen.
Got to be tough.
Josh Simmons, it's interesting because Josh Simmons in this whole process was injured, patella, but a lot of favorable reports are coming out that he's gonna be okay.
Oh, well, good.
Like, this ain't gonna hurt his career.
Oh, good.
So, in my mind, he's the best tackle,
Right.
Because he's the one that looks most like the prototype of the other ones. He was just hurt, so we don't have the 2024 film on him. Kelvin Banks is a good tackle. A lot of people want to kick him in the guard, so I think if he's a guard, he goes much later than this. So I believe Josh Simmons is a really good pick for the Miami Dolphins. Josh Simmons, and it fits a need. The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, are pick 14. They're on the clock. What do they want? So, Will Johnson's still on the board. We're gonna put Will Johnson's name back up there. We're gonna put Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. We're gonna put Gray Zabel, the offensive lineman out of North Dakota State. What else? What else do you want to put up there? Because Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle out of Michigan, he can also be up there.
Well, since you mentioned Grant, definitely, that's going to be a man amongst boys.
Yes,
I'm telling you. I watched him in his road dog destroy Ohio State on which a lot of the regular season. Man.
Embarrassed them boys.
Yeah, they couldn't get no push on him, man. So Grant, he's gonna be a hell of a player for a long time in the league.
I really like Grant too.
Yeah, yes.
I think he's
a hell of a player.
I think he's underrated.
Yeah,
he's a big dude and he's quick as hell. I like Kenneth Grant. The only thing is, I think they got that blinking light on the tight end. I think they want to get some tight end help, but Kenneth Grant is the better pick.
Yes,
because Colston Loveland's a hell of a tight end. He's a hell of a pass catcher. First of all, your quarterback can't hit him, and second of all, I don't think he should go this early. Really, to me, I'm not a tight end first round guy.
Right.
I'm a tight end second round, third round guy. So we'll go with Kenneth Grant.
Yeah, they were talking to Mike McDonald, which is the head coach of Seattle, coached Grant at Michigan before he got the Baltimore job for 1 year.
Really?
He said, yeah, he was the defensive coordinator for Michigan. And he said, this guy right here been NFL ready.
Yeah.
He's been NFL ready.
I definitely believe that.
So, yeah.
So we'll go to Kenneth Grant goes to Indianapolis, the Falcons. Man, the Falcons. They
need some pass rush.
They need pass rush.
Yes.
So we're Mikael Williams is the pick.
Yep.
I would have said Shamar Stewart, also James Pierce Jr. I think there's a chance that they could go James Pierce Jr.
You think so?
I think there's a chance. But he's not clean
Right.
as a prospect. So Mikael Williams is the cleaner prospect. He's a Georgia boy. You know, he was already in the state. Keep him in Georgia. Mikael Williams goes to the Atlanta Falcons. How you like that fit for him?
Right on time. They need it. It's definitely a need. I hope they don't get cute with it. This is the need for you.
Yes. And knowing them, they're going to do something. It's going to come out of left field. They might get a wide receiver or something to go with Drake London. Arizona. Arizona's an interesting team. Nobody ever talks about Arizona.
No.
So we don't, I don't know who they've been talking to or what they want to do. Wide receiver 2 is an option for them. So we're going to put up Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah.
We're going to put up Kelvin Banks Jr., Jihad Campbell, linebacker. I like that fit. And then we'll put up Will Johnson. Will Johnson's still on the board.
Available.
And he'll probably be the highest rated of these guys that we're talking about. So Will Johnson, Emeka Ibuka, Kelvin Banks Jr., Jihad Campbell. What about those? What names interest you?
Will Johnson, he's still available?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a defensive head coach. I think
Yes.
that's what'll happen.
I'm with you. Will Johnson to the, and I ain't gonna lie, I think we get a bunch of these correct. Will Johnson to the Arizona Cardinals. Really good pick for them. And this is where he should go.
Right.
To me, he's not a top 10 cat. He's not Patrick Peterson.
No.
He's not Patrick Surtain.
Right.
The guy is a hell of a zone corner who's got questionable speed. I don't think Arizona cares about speed after getting Maserati Marv, because he would have ran like a 4.6 last year if he ran. So I think they're fine with just getting good football players, and Will Johnson's a good football player. This next one, man, they got to hit it out the park. The Cincinnati Bengals. They don't need anything offensively.
No.
I think
No.
running back wise, maybe. What do you think about? Well, so we'll put up Omarion Hampton. We'll put up Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss, Shamar Stewart, and James Pierce.
You got to go defensive. The defensive line, you got to go there because Trey Henderson might hold out on you this year.
Trey Henderson is pissed off.
Yeah, you're going to probably have to go with I'll probably go the best edge right here. Whatever the best edge.
Edge would be, Mike Green.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's throw Mike Green out there.
Mike Green.
Mike Green is the best pass rushing edge, and that's exactly what they need with that division.
Yes.
We'll go Mike Green right here. That is
that's a must for them.
That's a really good pick. Really good pick for these cats.
Need somebody to get pressure on Lamar.
Yeah. And just to close out a game.
Yes.
Because the Bengals were always in these tight games. Mike Green as a pass rusher can actually come in and finish the game off for you. Seattle Seahawks are the 18th pick. They've got an interesting range of players they can get. They can go O-line with Gray Zabel, Tyler Booker, the guard from Alabama, really tough road grader guard. We're going to throw in some safeties, Nick Imawari, Malachi Starks. They can also go Colston Loveland also.
I'm going with the guard from North Dakota State.
Gray Zabel?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were under pressure all year, right up the gut, man. So it's either going to be him or Booker, I would think. If both of those guys on the board, but I'm going to go with Grable.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they need help on the interior for sure. And you got Sam Darnold there now.
Oh, man.
But you know Mike McDonald, I don't know what type of guy he's looking for. And evidently he's getting his guys in that he won't.
I'm conflicted. If I like Booker more than Zabel. A lot of people have Zabel rated high. So, let's go Gray Zabel for the Seattle Seahawks. I like Booker just because of how tough.
Oh, he's mean. Yeah, he's the guy.
He's throwing.
You ain't picking on his quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. He's throwing cats around. Yeah. So Gray Zabel's the pick for the Seattle Seahawks.
Do you think there's any chance they would take Ibuka right there?
I don't.
Now that they got DK Metcalf and Lockett moved on.
But they already got the
other one.
The other one.
Yeah,
the other
JSN,
Ohio,
Jackson
JSN, right. They already got JSN. And to me they're the same position.
Yeah.
So I would it's just too much slot. Too much slot going on because they got Cooper Kupp also.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
no, that wouldn't work.
That
wouldn't work at all. No.
Having 3 slot receivers on the field at one time.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 19th overall pick. They could go a lot of ways. I could see them going. We're gonna put up Jihad Campbell.
Yep.
We're gonna put up Mikael Williams is gone. Malachi Starks. Nicky Memori, the safety, and James Pierce. Out of those 3, you kind of.
I think it's Campbell.
I think it's Campbell too.
I think Todd Bowles is looking for his next middle linebacker.
Yes,
and I think Campbell he would be the pick here.
Yeah, really athletic cat. Todd Bowles is a genius with those linebackers. I can see him in a blitz package. That's gonna be crazy.
No problem.
Yeah. So Jihad Campbell goes, and who's the linebacker? Levante David.
David, yes.
He's towards the end.
Right.
Towards the end of his career. So he'll slide right in. Jihad Campbell to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Denver Broncos, another really interesting option for people for them. Running back. Amari Hampton, we're gonna throw him up there. Not Tyler Warren, but Colston Loveland. You know how Sean Payton gets down with these, these cats. We'll go Derek Harmon and what's one more?
Who's the best? Who's the safety that's left?
Nicky Moore.
I'm trying to think who's the safety for the Broncos now. I know Reed left.
Yeah.
So, and they got a hell of a shutdown corner. So, but you never know with Peyton.
I think Peyton wants an offensive weapon.
Yeah. Well, let's go Hampton then. I'm thinking they're gonna go running back.
All right, Hampton, Amari and Hampton, perfect for his scheme. I like Amari and Hampton there. And for me, as a hater of the Washington Commanders, I'm glad he just doesn't end up there.
Oh yeah.
Because if Hampton ended up in Washington, I would be beside myself. But so he goes off the board at 20 for the Denver Broncos. 21.
That's it.
It's the first time we're going to do it. Shador Sanders, Jackson Dart, and then we'll go Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan. So you're either getting the quarterback of the future or you get one of these stout defensive tackles.
Yes.
I'm sure they would want Kenneth Grant, but because Kenneth Grant seems like a Steeler, but he's long gone. Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon from Oregon, Shador Sanders, or Jackson Dart.
Man, Nolan will be the perfect pick with what's left on the board, but they're not going to pass the quarterback up.
They're not going to pass the quarterback up. And the closer it gets to the end, I don't think Aaron Rodgers goes there.
Yeah.
If he does, it's gonna be late. Like Aaron Rodgers is gonna pick his own destination, or his own time of doing things. So we'll go ahead and do it. You said Shador Sanders. So the Pittsburgh Steelers draft Shador Sanders with the 21st overall pick, and this is about where he should go. Speaking of, what do you think of Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter's jerseys being, their numbers being retired at Colorado? What do you think about that?
That's foolishness. I understand Hunter. He wanted to hide me. Okay, that's the only argument you really got. But Shador, guys, they were 500. Yeah. At Colorado. I understand what Colorado was before they got there, but they were 500. Hell, I don't even think arguably the greatest college quarterback of all time, Tim Tebow. I don't even think they retired his number at Florida. And you telling me Shador is going to get his number retired for what he did at Colorado? Come on, man. Cordell Stewart's number's not retired. Hell, he played better than Shador years ago for Colorado. No, man, it's a bunch of foolishness, man. I can't believe they done that. But
I absolutely agree. It's more Deion Sanders nonsense. Absolutely. Because these are two of his quote unquote sons. Shador Sanders is his actual son, and Travis Hunter is his theoretical son. And they're the first ones to get out of this and that's crazy. It's craziness. Shador they didn't do nothing.
No.
Maybe they get a plaque of something. You know what I'm saying? Something. Or being a ring of honor. But to say you retire their jerseys it's a crock of BS.
No. Mm-mm.
But in this instance, the Shador Sanders does go to Pittsburgh. The LA Chargers are on the clock at 22, and they are looking at let's put up Colston Loveland.
That's it.
Yeah,
his head coach ain't gonna let him get by. I can see it, and it's a need for them. So Harbaugh ain't gonna let him get by. If he gets to him there, I don't think Harbaugh lets him go.
We're both on this Colston Loveland train, and watching him, man, Colston Loveland's good.
Oh yeah.
He's and in LA especially he's gonna be really good. First
day one he's gonna be good.
Yeah, day one. As long as he stays healthy, he's gonna be a really good tight end for them. Going to pick 23, the Green Bay Packers. This one is up in the air. I want to put up a receiver, but they don't. Yeah. They don't draft first round receivers. Mm-mm. Let's go. The safety, Nicky Mawari, Malachi Starks, Donovan Ezuraku, the edge rusher out of Boston College. Derek Harmon, put him back up there, and Maxwell Hairston. Maxwell Hairston is a super fast, athletic receiver. Cornerback, excuse me. And they're talking about getting away from
Jair.
Jair
Alexander.
Yeah, Jair,
that's why I was going to say who's the cornerback. Because I don't know how, and he's always hurt. You don't know how it's going to, and if they move on from him, they definitely need to replace that.
So what do you think? Because their number one targets are Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, but of course they're gone.
They're gone.
Do you think Hairston is a better fit than a edge rusher? Maybe we still have Shamar Stewart on the board also, so we can throw in Shamar Stewart, Ezuraku, or Hairston. Which one do you think?
Actually, man, I think this would still be kind of early for me for Hairston, but I know it's a need at that position. But man, because you're going to be dealing with Justin Jefferson a couple of times, and you got to deal with the Chicago Bears receiver. So it's definitely a need, but I don't know about taking him that high. So I'm probably going to go with the edge.
The edge?
Yeah, the one out of Boston College.
Okay.
Good guy at Boston College.
Ezra
who used to playing in that type of weather.
Yeah.
He should fit right in there.
He's a hell of a pass rusher. They say he's got every move in the book already. It's like he's kind of like what's the cat that went to Indianapolis last year?
Oh.
Latu, the cat from
UCLA. Yes. Okay.
Because he was like the best, most polished pass rusher also, and he's going in. So I like that. Donovan Ezuraku goes to the Green Bay Packers. Next up, Minnesota. With the 24th pick, Minnesota, we're going to put up Nicky Mwari, Malachi Starks. We're going to put up Derek Harmon and Shamar Stewart also.
I'm going to probably go with Starks, the safety. I think Harrison, he's getting long in the tooth.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to have to replace him. That's why I'm going to safety.
So you like Starks over Imawari?
Imawari, the one out of South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Imawari. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I like Imawari too.
Yes.
So we'll come to a consensus. Nicky Imawari is the pick for the Minnesota Vikings. He's got a hell of a name. Imawari. Pick 25. It's an interesting pick, especially for this show. The Houston Texans are on the board. They have receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They can go running back.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely go offensive line.
Yes.
And then their defense is pretty well positioned to get somebody later. Mm-hmm. So we're going to put up Kelvin Banks Jr., Tyler Booker, Emeka Ibuka. Yeah. And then Travion Henderson.
Oh.
So out of those names, Tyler Booker, Kelvin Banks Jr., Emeka Ibuka, Travion Henderson.
I'm taking Booker.
I'm
taking Booker, the guard, the nasty guard, man. Like you said, they gonna need some help on offensive line.
And they finally get one of them nasty guard cats.
Yes. So when them late hits on Stroud, you have somebody come over and take up for him.
What about Banks? What do you think about Banks?
The late season injuries, man. It was a couple of times this year injuries started to pile up on him, and that's why he's falling. Because when the year started, people would have told you he's number 1 or 2 tackle in the whole draft. But by the time it was over, he started to fall, man. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep an eye out on that one because it could be Banks, but I like Booker better myself. So we're going Tyler Booker, and next up with pick 26 are the Rams, the LA Rams. Oh man,
interesting pick.
This is very interesting. This could be a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So they can go Jackson Dart. Their defensive line's pretty well positioned.
Yes.
Malachi Starks. We're gonna put Malachi Starks up there. We're gonna put the other tight end, Mason Taylor. Taylor from LSU. I'm still trying to think of the corner. It'll probably be Hairston.
Hairston
again.
be the next one, I guess.
I think Hairston's the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do?
Hairston and then Thomas out of Florida State would be the next one.
So to me, it's the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's the quarterback for the future, or that we can help their secondary and get Starks.
And I think if that's the case, I'll probably go Starks.
Starks?
The future for him, because the front of the defense is already legit. And that's going to just help shore up the back end.
And this is about where he should go. Let me see. Yeah, let's go Malachi Starks.
So that defense is going to be good for a long time.
The Rams are a tough one to
Yeah.
kind of to get your arms around, just because to me they overexceeded last year, and their stock is still up. So I don't know exactly everything they might want.
Right.
And with their front office, the front office can pick anything.
I often say Les Snead. Hey, don't be surprised if he show back up at the end of the very front of the second round.
Yes.
And take that quarterback that he's looking for.
Yeah. Next up, Baltimore Ravens. Shamar Stewart is still on the board. Derek Harmon still on the board.
Is Walter Nolan still on board? Or did he already go?
Walter Nolan is still on the board. And let me see who else they can. Mike Green is gone. Ezraku's gone. Yeah. Shamar Stewart, Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, and Kelvin Banks Jr.
Kevin Banks Jr. Okay. What do they look like at cornerback? Did the best one leave? What was number 44? What's his name?
I know you're talking about.
Well, did he stay or leave?
He stayed, but he's up there in age.
Okay, yeah. Marlon Humphrey.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, man.
To me, it's down to Shamar Stewart or Maxwell Hairston.
Probably go Hairston. I'll go Hairston here.
Yeah.
They're going to have to replenish that.
More secondary help for him. And to me, the Baltimore Ravens pick a year ahead of time instead of their need right now.
Yeah.
They're always the smarter team when it comes to drafting. Let's go Maxwell Hairston. He's the next guy. There's a lot of love for Trey Amos also.
He crossed my mind.
But I think he's more of a second round cat. I think Maxwell Hairston could be a first rounder. Lions. Detroit Lions.
Edge.
Shamar Stewart.
There you go.
Shamar
They
Stewart.
seen what happened last year when the star edge went down and they had to
Right.
go out and make a trade. They don't want to be in that position again.
And think about the tandem of Shamar Stewart and what's his name?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson. Man, that'll be a hellified pass rush. At least get Stewart. The problem with him, the reason why he fell this far down is because his production and his finishing isn't what it needs to be a top 15 pick. Like, he's got all the tools. He's got the speed to power. He's got the size. Like his athletic testing is of the elite ilk, but only a sack and a half.
Right.
While other cats were on his team were getting sacks.
Yeah.
So it could be like he just doesn't know how to finish, or something like that. Or I don't know why
Or maybe it's the coaching. Maybe he gets to the next level and you get a defensive line coach that can really work with him.
Yeah.
They say he only had 4.5 sacks his whole career.
Yeah.
So that's not a big number.
And I think his first year in the league, he could get 4.5 sacks.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
If he goes to the right. And this, to me, is the
Yes.
perfect situation.
He gonna get the
for him.
one-on-ones.
Yes. Washington Commanders are up next. They could go a lot of different ways. The names I'm seeing, our targets are they're pretty much sold up. So what we're gonna do is gonna go James Pierce Jr. We're also gonna go Travion Henderson, which would that would anger me so much if I want to put Travion Henderson here just because it's gonna piss me off.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's gonna
Watch
piss
what
me off.
happens. Watch.
So-
it's gonna be Henderson. The Brian Robinson experience maybe some thunder and lightning, but the Brian Robinson experience might be over.
And the guy who came from the Chargers, Eckler, he's washed up. So this dude is Eckler plus to me because he's got the pass protection. He's got the explosive breakaway speed, and he's got the route running out the backfield. I'm gonna hate this pick for Washington, and if it happens, I'm gonna throw something. So Travion Henderson goes to the Washington Commanders. Oh man!
Like you say, he's probably the best pass blocker of all the running backs in this draft.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm sick. I'm sick right now. I am sick. All right, Buffalo Bills. They have the 30th pick in the first round. Let's look at Derek Harmon.
I would say the edges or tackles.
Walter
like
Nolan. Yeah. Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, James Pierce Jr.
Pierce is interesting here too.
Pierce is because the Von Miller thing is done.
It's just done.
It's done. They tried everything they could. James Pierce reminds me of the other Greg Russo, like just long, lanky, strong cats. Only thing with Pierce again is the football character.
Yes.
He's got some red flags when it comes to that. Walter Nolan, I like that.
Yep.
I like that as a pick. What do you think?
That sounds like about right. Walter Nolan.
Yeah,
for that spot right there.
I like Walter Nolan for them too. What about receiver Ibuka? You think about it? Yes, no.
You would, but you just paid Shakir.
Yeah, you're right.
But this is going to be shut up or put up for the kid they just drafted out of Florida State. I forget his name. Keon Coleman?
Keon Coleman.
Yes. So we're going to see what he's made about it. It's his second year. I don't want to hear no excuses.
I'm with you. Let's go Walter Nolan here. I like that as a fit. Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss, really explosive. He could go a lot higher than this. Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, I kind of Kelvin Banks Jr.
Yep.
Kelvin Banks Jr.'s got to be the pick.
Ain't no doubt.
After what we saw the Eagles do to them cats.
No doubt.
That one's pretty easy. Kelvin Banks Jr.
There you go.
To the Kansas City Chiefs, pick 31. And the Super Bowl winning Eagles are on the clock. Interesting rumor for them. They are putting Dallas Goddard on the trading block. Could they get Mason Taylor in to succeed him as a tight end one? Could they? What else could they do? They could go defensive line. You always know
no doubt.
Derek Harmon still on the board.
If they like Mason Taylor at tight end, that could be an answer for them. They're good at cornerback, so
they're really good at cornerback.
Yes.
Safety, I don't think there's a safety that is a first round caliber player. To me, it's down to the tight end or the. What about receiver?
I was just looking at Luther Burton or Becca, right? He's still on the board?
Yeah. Because the rumors are A.J. Brown could be joining the Patriots somehow, some way. He's not a clone of Emeka Buka is not a clone. He's more of a slot guy.
Yeah. And the Eagles really don't have that, I don't think, as a slot guy. A.J. he can play in or out, but Devontae, he can play on the outside, so it would probably work. Emeka would probably work there. But I'm expecting to do something real freaky. You know how they operate.
Yeah.
Something off the wall.
That's why I would think Luther Burden might be the one.
Yes.
Mason Taylor, tight end. Emeka Buka, Luther Burden. What about tackles? Are there any tackles? Like tackles. I don't. Ariante Ursary maybe. Don't think so. This one's tough because they're the Super Bowl winning team.
So they draft in depth for the most part.
Yeah.
They're in a position where whoever they get, they can just be the next man up.
What about Harmon? but because they
Derek
did, they did lose
Milton.
Milton.
Yeah.
What about edge rusher? I don't think they could go James Pierce also.
I wouldn't be surprised at all at that.
Because they take
all.
character guys all the
Yes.
time, and as long as they're good, this one's tough.
You mentioned Pierce. That may be the answer.
Yeah.
Because you got Jalen Carter and the other guy in the middle. And you put Pierce on the other side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that may be the answer is Pierce.
Because you get Nolan Smith, he's a ball of clay. You're still working on him. Let's go James Pierce Jr. And I'm going to be mad if that happens. Because James Pierce Jr. coming into the year was a top 10 pick. It's just...
Yep. Off the field stuff.
And he's a hell of a player. It's not like he's a bum.
No.
James Pierce goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're going to get him right. And he's going to be another good prospect.
He's going to be in a locker room with a bunch of dogs. He ain't going to have that much of a say when he walk into that locker room at all. So, Vic Fangio, he'll put him in the right position.
All right, so that is our final mock draft. Let's run through it one more again. Pick 1, Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward. Cleveland Browns, Travis Hunter. New York Giants, Abdul Carter. New England Patriots, Mason Graham. Jacksonville Jaguars, Jalen Walker. Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Genty. The Jets, Will Campbell. The Panthers, Ted McMillan. New Orleans gets Jade Barron. Chicago gets Warren, the tight end from Penn State. San Francisco, Armand Membu, tackle. Dallas gets Matthew Golden. Miami gets Josh Simmons. Indianapolis gets Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Atlanta, Mikael Williams from Georgia. Arizona gets Will Johnson as a corner out of Michigan. Cincinnati, Mike Green is from Marshall, defensive end. Gray Zabel goes to Seattle, pick 18. 19, Tampa Bay gets Jihad Campbell. 20, Amarian Hampton goes to Denver. 21, Pittsburgh gets Shador Sanders. The Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers get Colston Loveland. Perfect fit. 23, Green Bay Packers get Donovan Ezeraku. Minnesota Vikings get Nicky Manwari. Houston Texans get Tyler Booker. The Rams get Malachi Starks. Baltimore gets Maxwell Hairston. Detroit gets Shamar Stewart. Washington Commanders get Trey Henderson. Buffalo Bills get Walter Nolan. Kansas City Chiefs draft Kelvin Banks. And for the 32nd pick, Philadelphia picks James Pierce Jr., defensive end, Tennessee. Out of all those, give me like two or three of these picks that are perfect pairings for you.
I'm gonna go back to that New England pick with the Mason
Graham. Yeah,
yes, for sure. That one definitely. And also the Chargers when they pick up the tight end.
Yeah,
it's like a hand in glove there for sure.
That's one of mine. Unfortunately, well, I got a couple. The Dallas pick with Matthew Golden it just makes too much sense. Colston Loveland, that makes even more sense. And then Travion Henderson going to Washington Commanders. He'll complete their offense almost. It'd be a beautiful thing seeing him going with them. But yeah, I really like what we did as a mock. To me, everything just fits.
Yeah,
everything fits perfectly.
So with the draft coming up Thursday, are there any particular teams that you just excited to see what they're gonna do in the draft this year?
It's the mystery teams.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what Carolina does because Carolina can go every which way. I do want to see what Indianapolis because how are they going to take the next step? Are they just going to be this? Pittsburgh.
Yep.
because the quarterback, they're in dire need of a quarterback. They cannot go into the what's the boy? Your boy swung the helmet at.
Listen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. And then I'm really interested to see what Washington does, because they're in the championship game.
Yeah.
In Jaden Daniels' rookie year. To me, if they hit this out the park, they could be in a. It could be a constant thing for them, because I don't see them taking another step back, especially if they get the perfect first round pick. What about you?
For me, one of the Pittsburgh, of course. What happens if Shadur's not there? What do you do then? If some kind of way that happened and he's not there, Jacksonville. When you said that Ashton Genty thing, man, that just set off alarm. That's wild. But they're in a really good spot at 5.
Yeah.
To either move back or take a good player. And I'm with Atlanta. What are they gonna do this year to mess this whole thing? You sitting on Kirk Cousins. What are you gonna do with that? You can't just go into the season carrying that man, the highest paid bench player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Him and Derek Carr gonna be.
Yeah.
So the same division. What are they gonna do? Or do you think they may come out and try to replace Pitts? Kyle Pitts. He never turned out the way we thought he was gonna be. So that's gonna be intriguing for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
Because they're interesting because they've got everything else. They've depleted so much off their defense. They can do anything on defense and it makes sense. They like if you're a Mike Green team and you're after Cincinnati, or you're a defensive end team after Cincinnati, your guy could be gone. So if you want a defensive play, you're gonna have to jump above them because they got to go defense. Yeah. If they go offense, everybody need to be fired. Everybody.
So with this draft, do you think it's gonna be over or under 4.5 trades in the first round?
I think it's gonna be under.
Under.
Yeah. I think it's towards the end. The only trades I can really see are people coming back into the first round to get quarterbacks, and maybe if Chicago really wants Genty, they can trade up. That's the only. If Chicago wants Genty, if somehow Dallas wants to fall out, I don't see that happening. Or somebody trades up into the first to get Shador or Jackson Dart. That's the. I see 3 possibles.
Over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round?
No. It's gonna be 2.
Yeah.
It's got to be 2, and that line is perfect. I think 2 go.
Yeah. It should be interesting. Can't wait.
I
cannot wait.
I can't wait. What about a player? What player do you have the most interest to see where he goes?
I think it's Grant, the defensive tackle from Michigan. I really can, because I think that he's going to be a really good player.
Yeah.
And depending on where he lands at, it's going to be a problem for teams.
Milroe for me.
Yeah.
I got it. I can't wait to see where Milroe gets drafted, man. I can't wait. Maybe the Rams do something crazy and get Dart or Milroe, because he was invited to be there.
Yes.
And I know for sure they don't want to just see him by himself sitting in that room pouting. So I wonder what happens with him, and I can't wait to see where he goes.
So at all these guys we looked at, who do you think had a chance of possibly falling or actually being drafted higher than overdrafted?
Overdrafted? The only name, maybe Omarion Hampton. Because they're saying he could go to 10, and he could go to. Mel Kiper for a long time was putting him in Dallas. That's overdrafting like a mug. If he goes to 10, that's overdrafted. If he goes anywhere before the Denver Broncos, I think you're overdrafting him too much. Other than that, I think everybody everybody has a wide range of options. Maybe Luther Burton, if he goes in the first round.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Today, it was leaked that teams were asking Missouri for his one-on-ones in practice. And to see what he can really do as a route runner, which is weird because we had the whole season for you to watch that tape, and you're going back now a week before the draft and you're asking for one-on-one tape. I don't know that's
flags.
That's a flag
That's
to
flags.
me.
To me, he's gonna be more. You got to scheme him. He's gonna be like a Percy Harvin. You got to put design plays in there. You got to put design plays for him in the offense because I don't know if he really runs the route tree. So you're gonna have to design stuff specifically for him, kind of like Percy Harvin. You got all the tools, but as far as route running tree, I don't think he's got it.
Percy Harvin, Debo, those kind of players where you got to actually have a package. I can't see any news that came down.
No.
Pro Football Talk, Ashton Genty sees his window from 6 to 12.
I think what the GM, Baltimore GM, and they ain't sold on Mark Andrews. He can't commit to Mark Andrews.
Really?
Yes. I remember we talked about a month ago, Acosta thing. He can't guarantee it.
As a what? As a
him coming back to Baltimore, that he won't be traded.
It's too much. I don't see these tight ends getting traded. I think they're gonna have to do something. And yes, Mark Andrews took a step back, but they're saying that because of Lively.
Yes,
that's the only reason they're saying that.
That's why they're saying it.
But why not have two? Like that? That was like their best offense last year.
I don't think they want to pay him the 13 to 15 million, whatever he's supposed to make this year, or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't see anything. I don't see any other news that came down. I think we can end this.
Yeah, just remember, come 7:00 draft night, lock in.
Yes. Again, Thursday, night of the draft, we will be streaming our first round coverage. You'll get to watch us drinking and eating and commenting on picks.
Fredo say Texas need an offensive tackle, need OT.
Yeah, he's right, but because that's why I thought Kelvin Banks Jr. is a possibility. Again, Kelvin Banks Jr. was a guy who early he was a top 12 pick. And he just steadily fell. I could see them doing Kelvin Banks Jr. or Booker because the guard, like they'll finally get a road grading guard, man, and that'll make life easy on them 3rd and 1s. Them like their run game won't be that first, second down, 2 yards. If you run behind him, you're getting 4, 5, 6 yards behind him.
And the attitude that he's going to bring, going to be contagious.
Yeah.
You know, other guys can feed off of that because he's a no-nonsense guy. Definitely somebody you want in your corner.
But I can definitely see Kelvin Banks going to them. So, but yeah, come join us via YouTube Thursday for the draft. Love to get some comments. Love to get some questions. Love just to see how everybody reacts to every pick being selected. I can't wait. It's Christmas time.
Yes, sir.
I want to sing a carol or something that the day of. But yeah, we're gonna end it. We're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, share, do all that kind of stuff to help us out. Appreciate y'all being on the road with us through this journey. See y'all soon. Peace out.
Later.